If you let me down, where will I be? If you let me, please inform Sister. Nengi, I get to see you first today. The next kiss and tell, I'll put you on the hot seat because if I we need to give you gifts, you are the best kiss and tell participant. Where would I be? I don't know if you let me down. Where would I be if you let me down? Where would I be if you let me down? Where would I be if you let me wait? Aha! Where are the people that God waited for them? Waited all through the soils, all through the messing up. The Lord waited. I'm one of such, so I don't know about you. Where would I be if you let me down? Where would I be if you let me down? Where would I be if you let me down? Wow, it's time. It's 1 p.m. In Canada, in Ontario, and I'm sure this is 7 p.m. in West Africa, Nigeria to be precise. So you're welcome to Kiss and Tell, all the lovers of gist. I get to see my son second. I saw my son Hooded Poets. And that should be Nengi, or is that Kelechi? I'm beginning to confuse them. Okay, Hooded Poets should be Kesi Kenechukwu. Yes. Okay, correct me if I'm wrong. And then I get to see David Samuel second. Okay, so this is me waving. I'm giving a hand a wave to say hi and welcome to Kiss and Tell. As you all know, this is the time where we get to hear the sumptuous gist, the beautiful gist, the gist that empowers. We get to we'll join people on their previous journey, to their current journey, to their present journey, and we'll get to see what they've gone through. You know, I often tell people that there is power in your story. If you know how to articulate your story very well, then you will know that there is power in your story. Your story has the power to heal you. Your story has the power to heal others hearing it. Your story has the power to bring people to the Lord. Your story has the power to create resilience in people, to empower them, to strengthen them, because some of them might be going through exactly what you're going through. And hearing that you went through this same thing and you didn't remain on the ground, you stood, you rose, is something to encourage somebody. Somebody might be even contemplating suicide, and the person will just hear your story and the person will say, because of this story, I know that there is hope for me. But because what we conceal tend to have power over us, it tends to make us to shut down, to shut us up, to press us down. But once we speak, we release the power. What happens is there's a transference of power. You now have the power, not the enemy using it to taunt you, using it to shame you, using it to put you in a box, using it to silence you. No. When you share your experiences, what happens is you have power over those experiences. So you now have the power to control whatever force. Now try to use it to shut you up or to make you feel ashamed or depressed. Remember, Jesus came that we may have life. He came to cleanse us from all the filth and all the shame and all the negativity, just to make us his own. That is what Jesus did. So it doesn't matter what the story is. We want to hear it. And if you're watching or you will watch later and you have a story that you would like us to hear, please contact us, and I want you to share your story. The people sharing their stories, I see them as the real MVPs. They are MVPs because it's not easy to come out and say, oh, I made this mistake, I did this, I did that, but Jesus waited patiently for me, and Jesus reached out to me, and Jesus healed me, and Jesus rescued me, and Jesus embraced me, and Jesus gave me a new life. I'm sure you're enjoying the song in the background. It's from Travis Green. It says you waited. The Lord waited patiently. Because the story we're about to hear today speaks of God waiting patiently for the soul to come to him. And today that soul is a firebrand lady doing mighty things, using her story to teach others, to impact the kingdom of heaven in the youth. So this is Kiss and Tell with Auntie Kelechi. And in case you don't know me, I'm Kelechi Linda. I'm a youth coach, a youth pastor, and the privileged president of R.A.I.N.B.O.W Youth Ministry. R.A.I.N.B.O.W Youth is a youth organization that equips young people with the right knowledge and skills needed to live better lives so that they can contribute positively to sustainable development of society. So today, without much ado, I want to bring on our guest, and so we can begin the story, because my ears are itching for the story. Can we reduce it a little, baby? Can you hear, please? I'm talking to my IT. Can you please reduce it a little so that they can hear me? Okay, so I want to bring in our guest speaker. I don't know, Christabel. I'm trying to add you and I'm not able to add you. I don't know what's happening to your stuff. It says you will need the latest version of Instagram to join. I don't know what that means. So you send me an invite. Christabel, send me an invite. Let me bring you on, because I'm unable to bring you on. I don't know why. Send me friend request. Is she there? Is she hearing me? So while we wait for our guest, I'm trusting God that it's going to be smooth. Christabel, send me requests right now so I can bring you on. So I'm trusting God that it's going to be awesome, that we will hear the stories she has to tell, and we'll be encouraged and inspired by that story. Okay? So can someone reach? I thought she was here. I don't know why she's not. Christabel, if you're here, please do not waste my time. Just send me requests. I can't send you requests. I don't know why. So send me requests to join. Let me bring you on. So let's do that. Let's not waste our time. Please, let's begin to drop the links. Begin to invite people. Begin to draw their attention that this is where it is happening. A lot of people think that it will happen on Facebook. Maybe subsequent time we'll try Facebook, but for now, Kiss and Tell is on Instagram. Let's begin to drop the links in the inboxes of people. Today's story is going to help a lot of people. A lot of young people, they need today's story. So please do this for the Lord. Keep sending them the link so that they can join. Christabel, I don't know what you're waiting for. What is happening to you? How many seconds does it take you to send me an invite? And I'm going to see it and I will invite you. I have no invites. Please, can we reach her? I thought that girl was on this thing. What's the problem? Once you look at your phone, you will see where it shows like a cross. So you click on it. It sends invitation to me, and I'm going to accept, because I'm sending you like I send to other guests. I don't know the phone that you use. It's telling me you're not using the updated Instagram. So I don't know the Instagram that you're using. So the best option would be you sending me invites and you send me an invite. Is this cross sign? It has a cross sign. That is where you send an invite. You click on it, it sends me invite. Can somebody help her so she doesn't waste her time? I don't want this to be like the Rita's case, because I discussed with you and you should have known all this by now. You use Instagram a lot. Please. So while we are waiting for her to do that, let's drop the link in the inboxes of our friends and invite them. If you have someone that is with you there, Christabel, you can use the person's phone. You see, I can't invite you. I can't invite you. Keeps telling me that. I'm able to invite Samuel, but I had to cancel it. But I'm not able to invite you, Christabel, because you're not using the current Instagram. So you're the one to send me an invite. Please, can we make her not to waste our time? Christabel, do not waste my time. If you're with somebody that has phone, you can use the person's Instagram. Just follow us and type the name of the person. Then I will add the person. If the person is using the updated Instagram. Okay. I don't know about. It's working for me. It's working for me. I believe it's working for me. What's the update on Christabel? I don't want to. It's working for me. Is she updating? Is she updating her Instagram? No, your Instagram is not updated. I can't invite you. So you send me a link. Send me an interest to join me, and I will accept you. When you see your phone, as your phone is on, as you're looking at your Instagram right now, you're watching me, there is this square button with a cross. Once you click on it, it sends me notification that they want to join me live, and I'll bring you live. It's not difficult. It's on all phones. It's intentional. It's intentional. Oh, please, what is holding Christabel? Christabel, don't give us headache today, please. You always use Instagram and you don't know how to do these things, how to send an invitation to join a live session. Please send me an invitation. It's going to come up. I try to add you. It's not adding. I can add Samuel David. I can add you. Then there's a problem with your Instagram. Okay? So send me an invite. Can we reach her? Okay, so the story we're going to hear today, it's a story of, yes. Good. She has sent me. Good. Simple thing that you're supposed to know, you won't know. You see, you're not coming online to learn it. Good. I've accepted your invite.
Okay, ma. Good evening.
Good evening. You are always on Instagram. You don't know how to send invitation. In fact,
Sorry, ma.
I need to send. Where's Samuel David, our military trainee? Samuel, put her in the cage room. Is it guard room?
I saw him not too long.
Huh?
I saw him not too long ago.
Yes, he has to put you in the guard room because he don't know basic things. He only come to post pictures. He has to put in military guard room and flog you so that you start learning those things. So you're welcome. Are you sitting on the hot seat?
Yes, ma. Thank you very much for this privilege. Thank you very much. I'm really honored.
Your back is already showing fire, because your background is showing red. So it's as if the fire started burning you already. Is the fire burning you? Is that your hair?
No, ma, it's a wig, oh.
It looks very natural. It looks very beautiful and
Thank you,
natural.
ma.
All right, so let's shoot. Let's endeavor to invite our friends on Facebook, WhatsApp, Instagram, share the links so that they can join us. I know that a lot of our subscribers are saying, please come to Facebook. And I asked our guest if she was going to like Facebook, but she didn't say anything. I have to come on Instagram. Maybe next month we'll try Facebook. So let's shoot. So if Christabel, I'll be shouting your name, and I'm sure that people will be like, "Where is that person? Self? Why is she making articulation to shout?" So you're going to introduce yourself to us. So who is Christabel?
Okay, I'm Godwin Christabel. I'm from Akwa Ibom State of Nigeria, and I'm a rainbowite actually. That's my family. I'm a student of Rivers State University of Science and Technology, UST, and I'm studying plant science and biotechnology.
Now, I don't want you to give all those few details. It's very important for security reasons. That's why I was trying to cut you. Don't give too much of your details online. You can put your school, but you don't need to go into all the details for security purposes. All right. Okay, so thank you, Christabel. Let's begin to mention the names of our friends on the comment section, young people with our old people, so that they can come and then they will glean a lot of wisdom from today's episode of Kiss and Tell. For those who don't know what is Kiss and Tell is a platform where people get to share their stories with the story lover herself, Auntie Kelechi, the crafter of stories herself. And the stories are told to build the people hearing and to also build the person sharing. So it's strategic. We use it to make people know that at the other side of the coin, there are people that have gone through what you're going through and they succeeded. They've been successful. So you too can be successful. So that being said, let's dive in. Christabel, can you just tell us your story? Listen, I'm having my juice because I want to enjoy your story. So do not leave any details. I want you to go into the details before the questions will start coming. So let me be taking my juice and waiting for your story.
Okay, ma. Okay, my story, I'll be talking about my addiction story actually. If I had known that there would be a video on addiction, I would have loved to feature in that video. But I didn't know. It just came and I just saw the video. But I thank God because I really learned a lot from the speakers,
No, we're gonna do it
the
again. We're
journalists
having
especially.
episode 2 of that addiction video. So we'll feature you.
Okay, ma. Okay, I'll be really, really privileged and honored. Actually, my addiction started in the year 2019 after I was done with secondary school, and actually my mentor then told me that I should not go into a relationship till at least I'm out of secondary school. By then I should be matured enough. Me, the 16-year-old girl I wanted to just explore, so I was so happy that finally I can have a boyfriend. Like that joy in it. After everything, so there's this guy actually that I've been crushing on. He's always talking to my elder sister and I'll feel jealous. And it got to a time whereby I had to wear mini clothes past that area, like up to how many times? Like it was just so like teenage stuff. I so that day he approached me actually and I was like, whoa, this guy really notices me. Like it was wow. I slept that day very well. I was like, wow, my Prince Charming is arriving. And he asked me out and I didn't meditate. I said yes. So the first day when I came, he invited me over to his house. He's a young bachelor. He stays alone. He invited me over to his house. So when I got there, we just talked, we drank, and everything. Like it was just like we just
You said
talking
you
about
drank.
ourselves. Yes, yes. It was.
What did you
It's
drink?
not alcoholic drink. No, it's not alcoholic drink. Just yogurt. So we ate and everything. The second day, the same thing. Everything happened on the third day when I went there. So that was when he forced himself on me. That was actually a rape, but after everything, he said that he didn't know I was a virgin. So I cried and cried and cried. He left the place and he apologized that he's not going to do it again and so on. So because of the love now, my crush is finally dating me. Like something I've been waiting for, I've been expecting. I've been so happy. So he invited me over again. I went to his apartment again. it continued the second time, but he still forced me. That was when he told me openly that he can't date a girl without having sex with the girl. So I was like, for me to keep this guy, I need to have sex with him. So that was how it continued and continued till on the 2022 now, moving over to 2022. On March 1st, I could still remember, later on I found out that I was throwing up and so on. So when I went for test, I found out that I've taken in. Like it was just so like me, the Christian girl. Wow, what will people say? My dad being the strict type. Oh God, my life has ended. So I told him, and when I told him, he was so caring and everything. Then he asked me if I would keep it. I said I don't know. He then showed me the disadvantage of keeping it, that I should just flush it out. Wow, that was my first time of experiencing this kind of a thing. Wow, I was so devastated. I was sad. All this while my mom didn't notice because of her work schedule and everything. My dad wasn't always around, so if not, I know he would have noticed it. So we went there and we did it, and when I came out, it still continued. I told him already that after the incident, I told him that okay, fine, since you want to be sleeping with me always, that he should at least use protection and so on. He said no, that he does not use protection for the people he loves. That was what he told me. So I said okay, fine. So it continued and continued um till November, when back then actually we broke up, we come again, and we come back together again. We break up, we come back together again, like it was just happening. So he was like that if it's back, as in then my sex urge has risen very high, that I could not even control myself. It got to a time whereby I would call him and I'll be demanding for it. There was a time that he told me that I should mind the way I'm talking to him and so on. That was when he broke up with me because of money issues actually. He broke up with me. This is a guy that actually I give him everything. Anything he asks is so that he won't get angry. I just give it to him and so on. Even if it's money, the little money that I will use for myself, I would use to give to him. He use it to gamble and smoke and so on. I was just like, wow, it's love that one day I will reap the fruit of my labors. That was what I was just saying. And I was even praying to even get married. Everything happened. Our first breakup, official breakup, that we stayed for distance for like 2 weeks, happened in the month of November 2022. So back then my urge
This is
rose.
2022.
Yes, 2019 to 2020. Sorry, I'm already rushing. So after everything, my urge rose, and I was like, wow, that I could not do without it again. I needed help. Like I was also addicted to it. I called him and I apologized. He was like I should let him be. So after 2 weeks, we reconciled back. It went on and on till 2021. So he said that okay, fine, that since I'm already 18, because 2020 I turned 18. So he was like, since I'm already 18, that he wants to get married to me and so on. So I was very happy. I went to meet my mom that, oh, I have seen somebody that I want to marry. My mom was just quietly listening to me. She was like, where is he from? I told her, what does he do? I told her, I explained everything to her, that we have been friends for a while. My mother was like, I should wait at least when I'm 20 years. So I would know what I want as a lady. So I went to meet him. That was when everything changed. Like the sweet talks and everything changed. So he became a monster. Like there are little things that I do before that he doesn't get angry, but now he gets angry. He doesn't even want to see me and so on. That was the period actually that I joined Rainbow. My friend, I'm always grateful to her for introducing me to this family, although she's no longer here. Jaylee Jaja. We don't talk actually in secondary school, but she was like, it was later on that we separated, that we started talking more. So after everything, she was like, she has a family that she wants me to join and so on. Back then, like, I was already looking for solution actually for my problem. So I told her that I'm passing through addiction stuff. She said that it can heal, that there's nothing there, that let me just join and put everything and just be diligent, that everything will work out. I told him, I told her that okay fine, that I would like to join. When I told her everything, she added me up and I joined. The topic that struck my attention was actually the topic that actually struck my attention. The topic that actually struck my attention was understanding God's love and forgiveness. After the teacher thought about it, which is Matonye, I was like, God, if you can actually forgive me after all these things, like, then who am I not to forgive myself? It was very difficult. During the assignment, she asked what we were struggling about and so on. And I told her, she was like, that I should leave the relationship. It was not easy for me, but I tried and tried. Sometimes I would fall back and so on. It even got to a point whereby I became addicted to masturbation and porn. Like, it got to that point.
Are you done? I'm
Yes,
taking
ma.
note of my questions. Okay, great. Thank you so much, Christabel, for sharing your story. I know you tried to, yeah, you tried to get the point, and so that to enable me ask you questions. In case you're just joining us, this is Kiss and Tell with Auntie Kelechi, where people get to share their stories. And I'm sure you are enjoying that song in the background because that song sums up Christabel's story. You waited, the Lord waited patiently for her and to grab her. And today she's going to talk about her end story because today she's one of the fireful teachers in the Foundation Academy that also helped her to come out of addiction. That is what Jesus does. When he heals you, he forgives you, he brings you, and he sends you out there to become his vessel that will deliver others. So I'm going to ask you questions. Christopher, you said your journey began with having crush on this guy. So what was it about the guy that you were having so much crush on? Just few seconds.
Okay, I just love his stature. He was tall, and I'd always loved hanging around guys that are tall, and he has six packs.
That's
Like,
good.
he has six packs, ma. There's one, I don't know how to explain it, but six packs actually. He has six packs. Like, there are some things
Oh,
that,
like my
yes, yes, the
husband.
chest.
Eh.
Yes, that's
So
just
you
it.
like good thing like that?
And most at times when he's always there, he always removes his clothes. That was just what got my attention. And his height, that was just it. That was just what I loved about him. I was like,
You know
whoa,
you are short
that if
now.
I have this one as a boyfriend, my friends
You
will
know you
be,
are short now.
wow.
I'm taller than you. So anybody that is a little bit taller than me will look very tall to you. Okay, so one thing I like about you, Crystal Bell, is your sincerity. And it's a great thing in the kingdom of God. You are an asset to the kingdom. And as you know, I don't play with you. Even in disciplining you, I don't play with you because you're a strong asset. Okay, so because one thing is that sin begins from the eyes, and from the eye it goes to the mind. So that's why I'm asking her that question. In case you're in her shoes, and you need to ask yourself, where does this whole thing begin? So for Christabel, it began with her eyes. Oh, this guy, you know, teenage age, you build a lot of images in your mind. I want a guy that is tall, six packs. I want a girl that is this has boobs that is shaped. So all those images we build, when you see it, you tend to fall into temptation because you've already clouded your mind with all those objects, human objects, like you are now glorifying the human body. Like, oh, this is what I want, and then the devil just brought it to you, like, come and see it, see what you wanted. Okay, so you said, and then you guys began dating. I want to know to what at what point did did your sexual relationship with him lead at what point did addiction set in, that you know that right now I'm addicted to sex? If I don't have sex, like, if you don't have sex, is it in a day or 2 days or 3 days? I don't know if you understand my question. Like, your addiction, how intense was it? What point did it get to? Did it get to addiction? And then how often was it, like the sexual urge and then the sex itself? How often do you have it?
Okay, actually, I was like, actually, it's got to like 3 months before I found out that I couldn't do without it. Because when we come, the only thing, we don't do any other thing. Like
It
when we
just
see, we don't do any other thing apart from the sex talk. That's just it. So it was like interval of 2 days, every two days. That was why I got so addicted to it. And like, I found out that I was addicted to it, let's say 6 months time. That was when I found out. And if not because he broke up with me, I would have thought that it's a normal thing. That was when I found out that I was addicted to it and I could not do without it. Because when he left, it was as if my world has ended. My world has crumbled. Like, I was so devastated. I was so sad. I could not eat for days. That's just it.
okay. So, were you using any other means to help yourself? Because I know sexual urge for young people can be very strong, and then when you've not gotten addicted to it, were you not using anything to help yourself?
No, ma, I wasn't using drink actually. The only thing is that when we,
I said,
the only thing is that,
were you using anything like, do you finger yourself, like masturbation? That's what I
yes,
mean.
yes, I got into masturbation during that period when he left me, and I couldn't just control it. So he introduced me actually to porn. But actually, I said that I didn't want to watch it because of the advice that my mentor then. I All these things happened, and I had already lost contact with my mentor because I was using a button phone then, and back then in school, I didn't have his number. So after everything, I was like, he introduced me to porn, and when he introduced me, I told him that I didn't want to watch it at that point. So after the breakup, I started watching it, and I started engaging in the act. That was how I also got addicted to porn and masturbation too. That was it.
Thank you for being very sincere. Because one of the things that ruins us, both whether youth or adult, is our association. We can see from the way the story is building that Christabel, it began with her eyes. Oh, this is, and painting an image of what she wants in a human being. Oh, this is what I want in a guy. It must be tall. It must be this. It must have 6 packs. Just like me now. Me, I have 6 packs too. It must have 6 packs, and he must be cute and blah blah blah, and maybe neat, and so we begin that journey, and then the devil will just bring that image to us. And so when Christabel got involved with this guy, remember, this guy just wants to mess her up, because at that point in time, that guy is older than you. Can you say the age difference between you and the guy?
Yes, actually, he didn't tell me his age, but I got to find out. Like one of the times when I checked his file, I saw that he was like 10 years old, 10, 11 years older than I was then. Like, I was like, wow. But I didn't tell him that I saw it, so
Yeah,
he
so
won't
he
get
was just,
angry.
this is a big boy, a matured boy. Like, let me say, okay, Christabel was 16 at that point. So he's 26 or 27 at that point. So he was
Yes,
just
ma'am.
intentionally exploiting a little girl. And it was not for anything good. It was just to take out all the good in her and to mess out, because somebody that loves you would not really want to mess you up, would not really want to be sleeping with you endlessly, and then and introduce you to things that is going to soil your mind the more. When I was a teenager, when I was young, I had this. Let me say, my own image of a man is a man that is athletic. I guess that was also what led me to marry the kind of man I married. I don't like people that have pot belly, people that have fat. I'm sure Christabel might be like that. I like men that are slim, Not slim because you're not married though. Even when you are married, you continue to be slim. I love men that are clean, clean, very clean, smell good. Those that know me now, very neat. Once you have body odor, that's the end. So if the guy is athletic, that plays ball or any of the sport,
Yes,
not that
ma.
you have athletic build, though, is that you play the football. In fact, I used to be crazy about football. I thought I would marry a footballer. And you smell good, you know how to dress, that good dress. That was my own. So whereas my friends at that age, they were liking musicians, instrumentalists, and I know this age too. I have a lot of young people fighting that youth like instrumentalists, all these artists, whether spoken word art, be it instrumentalists, drummers, and so they have this infatuation for them, and it's so easy for them to fall. One, you must realize where is the point of my infatuation. And once a youth can identify the point of their infatuation, then it will be managed. Because I can't say it can break free. I can say it can be managed at this age until the Holy Spirit takes over your heart. So one, Christabel really has identified it, but then maybe she didn't know. One, she has identified that was her eyes and the images she had built. Or I want a guy that has 6 packs. So all the fat people don't have any agenda with Christabel. So that is the second. That's it. As we ask that question, I'll try to explain one or two things so that we can flow along. So at what point did you get pregnant, and how was the entire pregnancy experience for you?
Okay, it was let's say either 4 months time, November, November to March. It was March, 1st of March actually, because I could remember that we had a traditional program that Sunday when I found out actually. So like it wasn't really easy for me coming from the family I was born into. My dad. My dad was like, Krista.
I think we're losing her Nigerian network. Well, let's see. I'm sure it's going to.
I didn't know at first. He was the one that told me that I should go for test. So he followed me there and he was the one with the paper. He didn't even tell me in the hospital. Like, okay, we didn't go to a hospital, we went to a clinic. He didn't tell me there, a faraway clinic, because that around that vicinity I was popularly known. So he tried to like hide my reputation and so on. I was always the good girl around there. So anybody wouldn't believe that something like that. I was going through something like that. Even when I opened up to my zonal pastor's wife, she was like, you are a good girl.
Yeah, the we don't judge a book by the cover. I'm sure that Christabel is struggling with network. We don't judge a book by the cover. She's a good girl, but you don't know what the good girl is doing under the sheets. You don't know what the good girl is doing behind closed doors. So that's why it's not always good to judge people and write people off easily. You know, don't say A is good, B is bad, because you feel that B dresses in a way that looks like that denotes that she's messing up, and then A dresses well, not knowing that the A that is a good girl or boy is the one that messes up the more. So never judge a book by the cover. Open the book and read before you can judge. Christabel, we're losing you to network. I don't know if it's where you are. We can't hear you. I don't know. Christabel, can you hear me? We cannot hear you. I don't know what's happening. We're trying to connect to you. Please, let's be able to be sharing the link. Christabel, we're losing you. We can't hear you. No, we can't. Now you just came up. So continue. We were not hearing you then.
Okay, maybe it's network issues. I said I felt restless that period. it wasn't really easy for me to cover it up and so on because of the kind of family I was born into. Any little thing my dad or my mom would find out, and when they do, seriously, I'm dead. Especially my father. My mom can want to cover up and cope, but my dad, no, no, no. Like, he won't tolerate that nonsense. His third daughter, the perfect child, like, it was just so hard for me to cover up.
So how was the abortion experience for you? I think we're losing her to network. Network has been really disturbing her. Christabel, I don't know if you can hear me. I just want you to know that we have stopped connecting with you. We've stopped hearing you. I know it's your network. Maybe you just check your network bar and see if there is network. Okay. And if you're listening to us or if you're watching, yes, network is bad. Christabel has left. Christabel, send me the link again. Let me add you. Let me see if I can still add you up. Let me see if I can add you up directly. Okay. It allowed me to send you invite. Good. So you've updated your stuff. So I'm going to ask you something about the family, because most times when young people fall off or fall out, it happened to me at your age. It's because of the family. So I want you to tell me, how was your family? How was your relationship with your father? Did you have any father-daughter relationship? Like, did you have any male figure in your life, that would have helped you to avert most of those mistakes, or if not all the mistakes that you made?
Actually, no, my relationship with my dad is no go area. Like, my dad is the very, very strict type. Once he says this, you must do that. You don't have to argue. He doesn't want to hear your own part of the story. Like, the only time I usually have discussion with my dad is only when maybe I want to ask for money, any of my school stuff. That's just it. It's only my mom that I was a bit close to, but due to the nature of her business, she's not always chanced. So that's just it. And I'd always wished to have an elder brother, a male figure that I could look up to. Since I had only two elder sisters and a younger brother and a younger sister. So I'd always wished that male figure. That was even what led me to having a school father back then. He was the one advising me, but since I went out of school, we lost contact. So all these things just happened. Like, I thought I was doing the right thing and so on. That's just it.
Okay, great. So I can always relate, because growing up without a father was very difficult for me. It wasn't easy. You had a father, and it's as if you don't have a father. So I don't even know which one is worse. Me, I don't even have. My dad was late, so I don't know if my own is even better than you. I think mine will be better than you, because somebody can see me and understand that, oh, the father is not there, but your father is there, and no relationship. And this is to parents, because I know some parents watch our programs, and today is very important that you listen to this program. Most of you don't have good relationship with your children. You don't know what's going on in their lives. You don't sit with them. You don't commune with them. You don't communicate with them. You don't relate with them. There is no deep connection between you and your children. Your daughters are going through a lot. They go out there and a boy just tells them, I love you. And they are right in the boy's arm, opening their bodies. Because there is no validation from a male telling them that you are beautiful, you are this, or sitting them down to counsel them. Parents, draw a close, draw build a close relationship with your children. It is very important. Sons, fathers, build a close relationship with your sons. Mothers, build a close relationship with your daughters, and vice versa. Not just one parent to one gender. No, it should be together. Okay, so the masturbation, were you drawing, before I get into this, will be the last question before I get into your transformation, for the masturbation you got into, how was it for you? How was that feeling? How was that foul play, because I see it as foul play. How was it for you?
Actually, like what I do was that I usually, because I don't have phone in my phone, so I will just subscribe. Once the order just comes, I'll just subscribe with the little money I have. When I subscribe, I'll just go to YouTube and just click on it. Let's say search for it, and I'll watch it and satisfy myself. And like I was always feeling guilty, this guilt in me that I'm doing a bad thing, but I could not just stop it. Like I just found myself already there. Like I could not just handle it. I could not just stop it. That's just it. It wasn't that okay for me balancing it with church and so on. Like I was the good child, so it was clashing. I would be this one at home, and it was as if I was a shadow of myself. I was trying my possible best to break free, but I could not. It got to a time whereby I said I was not going to come online, but still, like I used up all my money for food because I usually like eating. I used it up for food and so on, but still I would have to borrow to come online. That was how it was for me. Like it wasn't easy for me.
Okay, so if you're watching us at this point in time, she's explaining when she got addicted to masturbation. Remember, she's already addicted to sex, and so when the person that she got involved with sex is not around, he introduced that to masturbation. And now this it's the masturbation we're beginning to talk about. And these things are not things happening outside the church. So before you say, maybe she was not born again, that's where a lot of people miss it. A lot of the boys, the girls, even the men, the women, the pastors, and all that, they are deep into this shit, this sin, and they just cover it with clothes and with praying in tongues. You have a problem is that you have a problem, and you need to face it squarely and stop this dual living, this pretense and trying to hide it, try to act spiritual. The next moment the devil is there laughing at you while you soil yourself, while you mess yourself up. This masturbation, this sexual sin, or be it whatever, it is real. And a lot, thousands and millions of people are hiding it in the church. I'm not talking of people outside the church. I'm talking of people in the church. The all knowing spiritual people. It's happening right in the church. So, Christopher, before I let you go and then I'll round up, I want to ask you a question about your transformation, because you've taken us through the beautiful journey of where it started, how it got to even the epoch of your story, the apex you got to it, which is good. You're a good storyteller. And right now, we want to talk about your transformation. So can you let us know when the transformation began? I know you just said it, oh, your friend invited you to Rainbow Youths. Great. So can you tell us what happened when you got invited, the topic that helped you, and what now happened to you that you now broke free? I want to know that part.
Okay, when my friend when my friend invited me, I was contemplating if I would join because actually an incident happened. So I I could not join. So when I reached out to her, it's a funny incident actually. So it was just God's will for me to just join Rainbow because everything that happened boils down. When I look back, I'll be like, God really wanted me to join this family. When I joined, the topic actually that because back then there was no addiction story, nothing as such. So the topic that really really touched me was understanding God's love and forgiveness. The teacher then, Miss Andren Francis, popularly known as Miss Toyin, she was so like she was so plain and everything. I understood that I have to forgive myself first because usually when it happens like that, I'll be like, Christabel, you are not good enough, and the thoughts keeps coming in and everything. I'll be like, I'll go to a fire. That was the scary part of it. So it got to a time whereby I was like, I told myself that this was how I was, so I could not do anything to change it. Like that was how it got to, because I tried for everything humanly possible. I read almost all the books on addiction that I could lay my hands on, but it didn't work out. Like it was as if sometimes when I read it, I'll be like, God, is it that you are not listening? Is it that you cannot help? That was just what, but still God still found, like I still found mercy. I'm a candidate of God's mercy. So when I opened up to her, I explained everything to her. That was one of the times we were having issues. So I explained everything to her, and she was like, she has been in that type of a relationship before, a toxic relationship, that I should work out. I told her that, ma, I cannot, that if I do I will die. She said, Christabel, you will not die. If I did not die, you will not die. That was the word that kept me going. And the guy was even surprised. Like, I stopped calling him, I stopped begging him. Like, I was holding myself. Although back then I was still struggling with the masturbation stuff. I'll fall and rise again. I'll cry and say, God, please help me. I will fall and rise again. Like, one thing about addiction is that when you say you don't want to do it, that is when the urge comes more. But God said in his word that he gives grace even in that temptation. That was what kept me going. I was like, God's grace is sufficient for me. Everything was just happening. I'll fall, I'll rise, I'll fall and rise. Even when I joined the rainbow, I graduated from Foundation Academy. I shared my testimony. I joined. I fell so many times. But now I'm still standing here to still encourage people, no matter what you are going through. Like, if God can rescue me, God can also rescue you too. That's just what I just have to tell everybody that's listening, that would listen and that will still listen.
Okay, so what's your parting word so that I can free you, and then I will take the I'll round up.
Okay, my advice for anyone going through any form of addiction, I'll tell you that you should not keep it to yourself. Because one thing is that when you keep it to yourself, you would, like, bad things usually strive in secrecy. When you keep it to yourself, you keep on engaging in the act. Look for somebody that you are accountable to. Back then I told Matoye everything. I was like, she was accountable, I was accountable to her, rather, sorry, I was accountable to her. Everything I told her, and she was always there to encourage me. Not somebody that would condemn you, somebody that would still love you but discipline you, tell you what you are doing is not good. And one thing is that once you are in that act, you should not condemn yourself. Don't feel like all hope is lost. God's saving grace is still available. God is still saving people. If God can save me, I believe that God can save anybody, no matter the kind of addiction you are going through. God can save you. That's all I have to say, ma.
And so, how have you been transforming others?
Okay, I'm a teacher in Rainbow Foundation Academy. And actually, my favorite topic of them all is that addiction, because it's a time where I have to tell people my story, and people will be like, wow. Like, there's a girl I added, Precious Adolfo. She was like, wow, Christabel, I didn't know you went through all of this. You went through all of this and you are still standing. That was what she told me, and I was like, it's God. Like, it's not by my power. I'm impacting, and while impacting, I'm also learning more things. I'm learning more things. I'm exploring the word of God. Praise the Lord.
Hallelujah, Mommy Gio. Thank you so much, Christabel. I'm gonna let you go. Just know from my heart, we love you. Thank you so much. Bye bye. So
Thank
see
you, ma, for
you
the
again. Bye.
privilege.
God bless
Bye.
you. Bye. Okay, so I had to let her go because where she is so that she can go back home. She's actually somewhere so that she can film with me. And if you listen to Christabel, whenever you're free, you can go. But if you want to still stay with me, continue to stay. There's no problem. I'm not chasing you. And one thing, if you notice, Christabel was talking and she was like, God, I've read all the big books on addiction, and why am I not set free and all that? In John chapter 5, from verse 1 to 14, which is my favorite scripture for those dealing with any form of addiction, anything that is strongly holding you, that you are not able to break free. It might not be as bad as Christabel, so it might be addicted to phone, addicted to sleep, addicted to food, I'm not just talking about sex and masturbation and all that. No, that's not what I'm talking about. Any form of addiction. Any form of addiction. John chapter 5 from verse 1 to 14 talks about the man at the pool of Bethesda. And this man has been there for 36 years. Others have been getting healed. Others have been reading all the books on addiction. They have been getting healed, and the man has refused to be healed. And so when an angel of God, because an angel of God always comes to stir the water, and people will get healed. But the man remains that and when the Lord came, he asked him, he said, Lord, I don't have anybody to put me in the water. When the angel stirs the water, I have nobody. Now, the man did not say, I don't have people. This, I don't have mother, father, brother, and sister. No. What the man is saying is, I do not have the right people. Say the right people. Put it in the comment section. I do not have the right people. What Christabel needed was the right person. She had friends. She had church members. She had pastor's wife. She had all forms of people. But she did not have the right people to bring her to the healing and the deliverance and the transformation that she deserved or that she desires. That was the number one problem that the man at the pool of Bethesda. If you do not have the right people or the right person, one right person in your life is much more valuable than 50 people in your life. You only need one right person. It was that right person that said, come join Rainbow Youth Foundation Academy, and I'm sure you'll be delivered here. And she joined. She had people, but it took that J. I don't know the name she called. I know the girl used to be in Rainbow Youth, but she's out. But that girl's role was to be the right person that will bring her to this deliverance she's encountering. The second thing, the end Jesus asked the man at the pool of Bethesda, do you want to be made whole? Do you speak of the responsibility. You cannot say you will read book and expect the book to heal you or to make you to stop masturbating or getting involved in addictions. It's do you speak of responsibility. Will you take the responsibility to effect the change that you want? Will you do whatever it will take to break free from this yoke, from this thing that is hurting you? Will you take responsibility for what you want to happen so that you can be set free? Or do you want to keep sitting down and be making excuses and be making excuses? You keep falling, you keep rising, you keep eating your feces. You speak of responsibility. I know you have been managing this situation. Now, do you want to be made whole? Whole is not is the end point of healing. Do you want to be made whole, that you will no longer fall into this field anymore? So you speaks to you taking the responsibility to move, to break out and say enough is enough. It's not the Lord that will do it. It is you that will say enough is enough. Christabel said even when she graduated from Rainbow Youth Foundation Academy, and in case you're wondering what's Rainbow Youth Foundation Academy, that is the breeding ground. That is a ground where young people get transformed, where they get delivered, where they get to know God, discover the love of God, discover God's purpose and God's agenda for their lives, and begin to run with it. She says she got delivered from Foundation Academy, but even when she joined Rainbow Youth, she fell one time or the other. But then when she realizes, do you want to be made whole? She stepped into the space and said, yes, I want to be made whole. And the rest is a history. It begins with, do you want to forgive yourself? Do you want to let go of the past? First, you have to forgive yourself. Forgive the truth. Forgive the mistakes. Forgive whatever things you've done. Two, begin to channel what happened to you as a way to save others. That's what Christabel is doing. One of the best topics we give to a Foundation Academy is dealing with addiction, and she delivers it powerfully. Why? Those who are mended, who are broken rather, are masters at mending, because she's been through that path. I don't know any other person that can teach that topic better than she does. And most of even I have teachers in Foundation Academy going through 1 or 2 challenges of masturbation. But they do not want to be set free. Because the moment you conceal the sin happening to you, the moment you conceal the things you are doing, it overpowers you. Another point you should take home is, do not hide any activity that you know is destroying you. Do not hide it. If I do not hide any activity, whether the one that is building you up, you share it. Do not hide all your activities that are messing you up. The things you do in the secret, do not hide it. You must be accountable. Have someone that you will share it with, someone that is higher than you. I'm not talking of necessarily but someone you know that can give you something that will impact upon your life. Someone that you know that can contribute to your growth. Do not hide secrets. The devil thrives in secrets. The second thing in that question in John chapter 5 from verse 1 to 14 is want. This is a question that speaks to desire. Will you be responsible enough to desire the change you want, not the change your parents want to see in you? Most times when parents say, I want my son to change, I always tell them, is that what your son wants? Is that what your daughter wants? Because before they would change, they need to desire it themselves. Lord, I want to change. Lord, I want to break out. You might be watching this video. You have heard Christabel's story. She wanted it. That is when the right person came into her life, her girlfriend, and told her about a place where she can go and learn about God's love. She wanted it. She desired it enough. And so she went for it. The man at the pool of Bethesda had excuses. He has so much excuses. I have no this. I have no that. No. Do you want to see the freedom, the liberty that Christ has given to you? You must want it, not somebody else. Do you have the strong desire for change, for deliverance that you want? Most deliverance don't come while you cross your head. You have to pray it out. You have to fight it out. The kingdom of God suffers violence. What do you think that scripture means? There are things you need to take, you need to act violently before it can come to you. The third thing before I round up is to be made. Made is the past tense of make. For English students, made is the past tense of make. And make means to form something by putting parts together. To form something. The sentence is, do you want to be made whole? Which means the man does not have the capacity to make himself whole. To be made whole means the person does not have the capacity to be made whole. Christabel knew she does not have the capacity to make herself whole. Even if she reads, you heard her. She said she read all the books on dealing with addiction. She read all the scriptures she could see. She does not have the power to make herself whole, because the next minute she will buy data or borrow data to watch porn. Which means that the man does not have the capacity. So it means made speaks of dependence. Will you take your desire and responsibility and leave it in the place of, I trust you, Jesus, to make me whole? That is what that part is talking about. Do you want to be made whole? The made is shifting responsibility to the Lord. That, Lord, I trust you that as I go through this training, as I go through this submission, as I go through this period of prayers and fasting and soft denying the flesh of comfort and listening and going through that Foundation Academy, I know I will be made whole. I trust in you. A lot of you, I tell you, most of you in Rainbow Youths or youths that I meet, I tell them, come to Foundation Academy. And they're like, man, I'm born again. Christabel was born again when she came to Foundation Academy. It has nothing to do with being born again or not. It's a place where you find your relationship with God again. You fine tune it. You find it again. You rebuild it, and you know your place in the Lord. Sometimes there are things you need to do to break free. Jesus is saying to you today, will you be willing to try another approach? Will you be willing to let go of the ego, of the pride, of the I know the Bible, and begin afresh with him? Let him fix this. In all your responsibility, in all your desire, will you package it as something for Jesus to do? Do you want to be made whole? And I'm asking you watching this, do you want to be made whole? Do you want to break free from addiction? Do you want to break free from the strongholds of darkness holding you? If you're like that, I want you to lift up your hand and say, Lord Jesus, I give you my life. Lord Jesus, help me. Lord Jesus, help me. I'm tired of doing things on my own. I'm tired of my status quo. I'm tired of the secrecy. I'm tired of being exhausted. I'm tired of this bondage. I'm tired of the covering up. Lord, fix me. Lord, help me. Lord, change me. In the name of Jesus Christ. Amen. That prayer is as simple as that, but it is powerful. You have asked the Lord to help you. You have asked the Lord to fix you. You have asked the Lord that you are tired. You've told him that you are tired, you're exhausted, and you want him to fix you. And the Lord is saying, yes, come to Foundation Academy, Rainbow Youthful Foundation Academy, and let me fix you. Let me change your story. Let me bring a new life, fresh wine out of you. Let me bring out fresh wine out of you. The old wine and the old bottle need to be destroyed, that a new wine will now be flowing, and I can bring out a new wine out of you. God bless you. So you want to know more about Foundation Academy, check this our Instagram or Facebook. You get more information about it. We have the last batch for this year coming up beginning next week, the December batch. You want to know more about it? God bless you. You can find out from us. And we've come to the end of today's kiss and tell. I'm sure you learned a lot. You learned a lot from Christabel's sincere, well-detailed addiction story. And we've seen the points that we listed. We need the right people in our lives. We need to have good parental relationship. For those people that don't have parents, it doesn't mean you can have good spiritual mother, spiritual father, mentor relationship with somebody that can act as a mother or a father to you. The point is being accountable to somebody. One of the things I try to do with my sons and daughters in Rainbow Youth Ministry, I try to be involved in their day-to-day life. But sometimes I'm busy and I need them to be the ones to be accountable to me, not me being accountable to them. You must be accountable to somebody. Try to tell somebody what is happening in your life. Try to open up. I once had a son that, stopped doing anything, stopped participating. And when I got to him, he told me what he was going through. I think it was in his studies, how he felt God had failed him. Okay, so it's good to always open up, tell somebody what you're going through. That way you get healed. The person will point you to the path, to the truth that you need, to the light that you need. So you need such kind of relationship, and then you need to take responsibility to break free from this shame, from these things holding, from this addiction. You need to desire it. You need to take responsibility. You need to act it. I need to trust the Lord that, Father, whatever process that I will use, that I would need for me to be set free, that whatever be the process, I will go through this process, and I know I'll be delivered. God bless you, Christabel, for sharing your wonderful story, and God bless you for listening. And if you're coming now, please endeavor to play it all over and share the link. Till I see you last Sunday of December, God willing, to bring you another powerful story. God bless you. We love you. Bye-bye. I don't know. I'm trying to off my this thing.